What's up? You guys have been asking for a reaction to the Freaky Eaters Raw Meat Addict episode for months now, so here I am. I'm gonna do it at last.
A freaky eater is someone who takes an eating habit to the extreme.
Daniel is obsessed with raw meat.
It goes down real smooth, you know?
He loves the taste and
He looks good.
and completely disregards the risks.
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
I just really don't want my brother to end up
That's a bullshit saying, it's not true.
a piece of meat.
With 1 week of intense therapy, can specialists Mike Dow and JJ Virgin help Daniel let go of his dangerous obsession
What he is doing has real consequences.
before it's too late?
Your first sign could be death, and it's not a nice death.
Eating naturally is freaky. Right.
29
Guy wants to eat his natural
years into a
diet.
varied diet, except for one freaky habit. Daniel has been obsessed with raw meat for the past 6 years. He feeds his habit 4 times a week in pound after pound of raw beef, eating whole steaks pulled right from the packaging. Even raw chicken.
Oh no.
It isn't really normal for people to have the eating habits that Daniel does.
Every year, 76 million people contract foodborne illnesses. Of these people, 375,000 are hospitalized.
Mostly from fruits and vegetables.
Die.
I'm really concerned.
Almost nobody
that
eats raw
Daniel
meat.
cares
What the
about
fuck are you
the
talking
people
about
that it's
even?
gonna lead to death.
In fact, Daniel scoffs at the thought of getting sick.
It's absolutely worth it to eat raw meat, even though there's consequences. Consequences are minor. I like to pull it, I like to see the muscles. There's no real reason behind it besides I like the taste and texture. It's like butter.
Yeah.
Daniel's love of raw food started when he was a child. Soon, Daniel was indulging his raw meat cravings several times a week, but he only shared his secret with his brother.
I thought it was just something he was trying out, but then it started progressing to 3 or 4 times a week. And
The
that's
dramatic
when it really
music.
started
What the
to
fuck
concern.
is this?
And I always look for the cheapest cut.
I don't think he does any type of preparation to it, washing it whatsoever.
Horrified by the risks Daniel is taking, his brother Bryant has begged him to give up raw meat.
Daniel disregards any health advice he gets regarding the raw meat that he consumes.
Some products may contain bacteria that could cause illness if the product is cooked improperly. Whatever. I mean, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. I have never gotten sick from eating raw meat, ever. And I've been doing it for 6 years now.
I just really don't want my brother.
It's pretty much impossible to get food poisoning from muscle meat, especially when there's no fat. If anything, toxins would be in the organs or the fat.
With nowhere else to turn,
Looks like he only eats
has
muscle
asked
meat.
Freaky eater specialist JJ Virgin and Dr. Mike Dow to intervene.
So tell us a little bit about why you're here.
I'm kind of concerned about my brother's eating habits. He likes to consume massive quantities of raw meat.
Is he aware of the health consequences of eating raw meat?
He's been told a lot. I just think he doesn't care.
Daniel's raw meat eating habit is incredibly dangerous. The parasites, the bacteria, sooner or later,
No
if you eat raw
proof.
meat, you're gonna get sick.
One of the things I'm also concerned about is that, he doesn't have a stable job, so he's buying whatever meat he can get, basically, so it might not be the highest quality, so.
You could eat carpaccio, you could eat steak tartare if you're choosing very high quality meats prepared by professional chefs. But Daniel is going and buying the manager's special, the cheapest, oldest meat.
Why don't we go meet him?
Okay, let's do it.
It is not very clever to do that, but again, if he doesn't eat organs,
Willing to accept our help.
it's still better than
Daniel
cooking
has a
it,
disturbing obsession
obviously.
with raw meat.
Hi there.
What's up?
I'm Dr. Mike Dow.
Like that.
Nice to meet you.
JJ Virgin, good to
Pleasure.
meet you.
Pleasure. I'm just going through my routine, doing my usual thing, and now
The guy looks fucking good. What the fuck do they want to change? This is retarded.
totally took me by surprise. Dude, what's going on?
The reason these people are here is because I called them about how you like to eat raw meat. I don't know if you really know how much this can affect your health, so they want to help you.
This is so
I
mental.
don't think I need help.
I really do hope that they can just strike some chord with Daniel, but I know it's going to be hard.
Dr. Dow and JJ want to introduce him to someone who can show him the danger he is facing.
My name is Dr. Mike Carragher. I'm a board-certified family medicine physician. Raw beef is covered with microscopic organisms, viruses, as well as parasites.
Okay.
They're not visible to the human eye, but nonetheless, they're there.
Right.
Your first sign of eating a parasite or a virus or a bacteria could be death, and it's not a nice death.
Okay, this is absolute nonsense. There's never been any proof for this. Ash and his wonder plans completely debunked it. There simply has never been any evidence for bacteria causing any kind of health problems. Because what they describe is an animal. They call it beef. It's a part of an animal. What they find is what naturally occurs in the animal. It is not harmful because otherwise the animal would die from sickness, but it was simply slaughtered. What bacteria, what parasites? The microbes are supposed to be there. They cannot even cause any harm for humans. What viruses? It's just completely made up. It's the invisible boogeyman.
I haven't died yet.
If we showed you evidence, would that help you to make some changes in your life?
I don't know. I really like it, and I really don't want to change.
This is some ground chopped meat, which we got from your refrigerator.
The test tab will reveal if E. coli is present in the ground beef.
E. coli
It
is
better
very
be.
dangerous.
It's supposed to be
Starts with
there.
Stomach cramps, diarrhea, headaches, fever, bloody stools, but then it can quickly progress to organ failure and death.
Zero proof for what
While
she's
Daniel hasn't
saying.
experienced the onset of these side effects yet, it doesn't mean they aren't in his future.
If we look at the tip of the test strips, if there's any discoloration at all, it means there's a positive test.
Right.
So looks like our E. coli here has changed in color. So that's positive E. coli on the ground beef from your refrigerator.
Oh, how come he didn't have any problems then, if it's so bad for you?
The E. coli test
No logic.
came up positive, but I don't think it's a real biggie because I think my body's naturally made to fight this type of thing. Is there such a thing as the body building up immunity?
No. Actually, you're putting yourself at higher risk for disease the more raw meat that you eat.
JJ hopes the results of his lab tests will change his mind.
You ready?
Yes. I have no idea what's going on, but in the back of my mind, I'm kind of digging in for another fight.
You do have a parasite.
Just the word parasites is kind of strong, and it stood out there.
We're not sure whether it is something that's, attaching into your small intestinal wall and actually causing problems. Daniel needs to take these tests and go back and see his doctor. He needs to deal with this parasite. We watch for side effects here. We watch for any kind of diarrhea, nausea, headaches, fever. Daniel's attitude did a 180-degree shift as we started to review his test results, and it all became very real to him. One more thing that's of interest on this test, rotting protein that hasn't digested sitting in your gut. Now, if you tell me that I'm just going to keep eating raw meat, I'm going to tell you, you'll probably start gaining fat more and more because that's a definite thing that it does.
I know it makes me seem shallow, but that is an important part of the argument about the fat and all that.
What do you want to look like?
I want to be a god on earth.
It would never work if we didn't fix this.
Okay. The turning point came when JJ told me how eliminating this could improve my life physically.
So that means that the raw meat's going.
Yes, let's do it.
It just shows you what a big deal vanity.
Okay. Firstly, we already know from millions of tests that raw meat is perfectly digested. So what kind of protein was left over there? If he eats it 4 times a week and all kinds of other shit the rest of the time, then obviously it's that. We already know this because it's been proven. Raw meat is the easiest to digest food. Also, a parasite, what is that? They don't say anything, they don't give any details as to what it actually is, because what they call bad bacteria or parasites don't actually mean anything, because they usually turn out to be good and they're actually symbionts. This is very vague with no explanations whatsoever. It's fear-mongering, that's it.
He is. You know, I sat there and showed Daniel how his raw meat diet could kill him, and he really didn't care. But when I tied it to how he could get a six-pack, boom, he's all in.
So the first morning, he prepares himself a cooked
I've
breakfast.
set my mind now to eating healthy. I have that craving. I want some meat.
When he gets home, the familiar look and smell are all too enticing.
My mouth just started watering looking at this thing. I'm not. It was just tough, chewy, and disappointing, and I
Right,
wanted it to
cooked
taste
meat is very
really
tough.
good, but it just didn't. So I'm cutting through the meat and I look over and there's the other half of the meat I bought sitting raw. It's nice and red. It'd be so easy to just go over there and sprinkle a little salt on it. But I just shut myself off from it and just kept sawing through the thing I had in front of me. Dang, I don't want to say it, but it feels a little overdone.
You still have the urge to eat raw meat?
A little bit. I was always not wanting to change my behavior, but doctors can't.
It's our natural
It's
diet.
important.
We only want what's best for you, man. We're just trying to keep us all alive. That's about it, man.
Now that I've been through all
Idiot.
of this with JJ and Dr. Dow and my brother and everybody, I'm not gonna eat raw meat anymore.
How's the food?
Hey, Dr. Dow, the best fact is I'm sharing it with my brother here, not necessarily the meat.
I really doubt that he stopped eating it.
Which maybe is already an improvement. I'm talking more about the experience and not the food itself.
And you're creating a positive association. Now it's going to be up to you.
That's always the hardest part.
Daniel was living dangerously because he didn't feel accepted by his family. But with the help of the experts and his brother, he now feels supported in his life and no longer needs raw meat.
All right, man.
Thanks, man. Thanks for coming out.
This is some of the fakest, cringiest shit ever created. It's funny. Yeah. Just to clarify, in case somebody doesn't understand it, food poisoning comes from poisons, it comes from toxins, bacteria, parasites, blah blah blah, have never caused any problems for anybody. They're naturally found in animals. A piece of a steak is part of an animal. It's what naturally occurs in them. If animals get antibiotics, vaccines, dewormers and so on, then yes, they will have toxins inside of them, but usually they are only found in the organs, which is why you should get really good meat when you want to eat the organs of animals. What he was eating would never cause him any problems anyway. Simply make sure that the animals that you eat don't get any of the toxins and that they eat their natural diet. Cows, for example, are obviously not supposed to eat grains. They're supposed to eat grass. If we would feed toxic meat to a dog, then they would get food poison just like us. We can eat raw meat without any problems as long as the animals are healthy, natural. Wild meat is of course always the best. Thank you for watching.